guys, it's Sarah. Thank you so much for coming back to another episode of Teaching Talk. I am so excited to bring you a new product. Okay, so the product that we're talking about today is some clip art, but I'm not actually going to show you the clip art. I'm going to show you some products and some games made with that clip art. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so this is the product that we're talking about, and yes, I have it on top of a tray for a reason. Need to make sure we leave enough space. Okay, guys, so this is the product that we're talking about in regards to the fact that the clip art was used to create the product. So this is a free resource that you can get in the store, color matching task cards, and flip and find matching game. So today we are going to talk about how you can use this one resource, at least 4, if not more, different ways. Okay, so yes, I have a tray right here. Now, the reason I have a tray right here, one of the things that helped me with transitions, like big, huge transitions in the day, from like the kids who got dropped off early to the kids who are getting there right at school, the time of class starting, was tray activities. Okay, so the kids that had to get dropped off at like 6, who got breakfast there at the center, they were coming into the classroom at about 8:30, and then the kids who were getting dropped off for the day right into the classroom were also coming in around 8:30. So kids would come in and there would be colorful trays throughout the classroom, and then they would come in and they would start an activity, drop off their things, and then start an activity in a tray. These were super small games and super small activities that they were able to do, and then if no one was using a particular tray before everyone got there, they could switch or whatnot. So an example would be these paintbrushes. Okay, so the paintbrushes are in the clip art and they come in 11 colors. So you're getting white, purple, yellow, gray, blue, orange, black, red, green, pink, brown. Okay, so you're getting all of the colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, black, brown, white, and pink, and gray. But so this one thing that you can do is I've printed 2. Okay, so there are 2 sets printed of this free item. Cut it apart and just put the colored paintbrushes in the tray. So then you could just have them pull them out and pair them up. Okay, you could just pair up the colors. Okay, you could just have the kids do that. Just have them pair them up. But what I used to do is I used to only actually put 6 total cards on a tray when we were first learning how to do this. And then I would have them mixed up and face down when we first would start. Okay. And then they were to flip over the cards and try and match the colors: red and green, red and red. Okay, so playing a flip and find matching game. Okay, that's the first way that I did it in the tray. Or I would include just all 6, or I'm sorry, not all 6, all 11 paintbrushes in the tray, and they could just sort and match. So this is one of the items in the clip art set. It is paintbrushes, and again, it comes in 11 different colors. You could do the same thing with paint jars or paint splats. So another thing that I would do with these trays is I would put in a gray, an orange, and let's say the black. Then I would also include those same colors in the paint jar. So orange, black, I wasn't the best at cutting them this time, and gray. And then the same thing with the paint brushes. So the black, the orange, and the gray. So this time there would be 9 in here, and they could do the same things. They could match them by, well, not the same thing. They could match the colors. So orange splat, orange paintbrush, orange jar. Okay, so they could do that. This one I kind of let them do sorting on their own. So they could be encouraged to match them up by color. They could be encouraged to match them up by items. So matching the paint jars with the brushes, with the splats. They could do that. They could, so those would be really the two ways that they could do it. You could include both sets in there as well, and then they would do the matching game with the different items. So that is a few different ways that you can use the same cards. You can match the paintbrushes, put several colors in and match the same image. So paintbrushes, paint jars, paint splats. So you could do matching games with the different images. And you're getting 11 in the clip art set. You get 11 of each design. You can put in multiple colors of the same item and then match or sort the different shapes and jars and things. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4 different ways to use this game in a tray setting. Okay, so here's our empty tray, and now we're going to use our task cards. So here I might put these 2 task cards, and this one is match the paintbrush and paint brush jar and splat that go with this color, so the red, and then here's the one with the blue. So in the tray we have our task cards, and then you would have the paintbrushes in blue, paint jars in blue, paint splats, and then the same items, splats, jars, and brush in red. Okay, so you would have these cards, and then they would have to sort them to the correct color. You could also include colors that are not one of these, where they would have to just leave them not included. So these are not, these are, and then separate them. For the secondary colors, I usually would just do 1 card. So this one free item can do at least 6 different tray activities. So here it says 2 colors mixed together to make the splat match the blue paintbrush and the red paintbrush to make this color paint. So you're going to have different paintbrushes, and then they're going to match the paintbrushes, the blue and the red, to make the purple. Now these are small little activities. Like I said, they were used during transition times. But I would also use these same cards in circle time activities. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, so I'm not even sure you can see this well, but here I just have this small little baseball card thing. Okay, so during circle time every single day, I had little cards that would have their names on it. And we did a question of the day. So it would have a sentence strip, and then it would have a color or an item or whatever. Okay, so using these cards, you could have your sentence strip and then your color next to it. So it could say, what color is this? And then you would have the spots. And you could even leave the word there, obviously. not what color. It had to be a yes or a no question. So it could be something like the question could be, is this red? That would be the question. And you would read it to them. Is this red? And then point to this color. And then what they would do, we'll just pretend that this is their names. They would vote yes or no. Okay, so the question would be up here and it would say, is this red? And then you would point to this and then you would ask them, Alex, is this red? And then he would vote yes or no. And you go through everyone. Caitlin, is this red? Vote yes or no. Okay, and then I was always the last one to vote. Is this red? And then I would put my answer on the side. I'm like, no, this is not red. This is purple. And then we would look at who was right and who had missed, or who was correct and who was incorrect that time. And we'd like, did we have more yes answers or more no answers? Not really pointing out who was wrong, but then we would talk about the graph of looking at yeses and nos of who had more, who had fewer. But so you could do that with any of these. Okay, so let's do another one here. So we did, is this red? And that was the color. Other ways you could also use this in the same idea of a question of the day. You could have brown, let's say, and you could say your question could be, you could have two. So does brown start with B? You could have a question like that, and then they would vote yes or no. Does brown start with B? And then you'd ask each kid, and then they would vote. So you could use these in a question of the day setting as well. Other things that I've done with these cards, let's go ahead and move the camera a little bit back here. Oops. Got some editing to do on this one. Okay. Just kind of popped out like that a little bit, I guess. We can zoom out then too. Okay, so we looked at the 6 ways that you can use the cards as games with the 4 matching and then the task cards, matching up those. We looked at how you can use it for question of the day. Another thing that you could do is just take the colors, take the whole set of, just the cards, and just leave them in a center. I always would leave these just sitting in a tray, much like this, where kids could then do the same tray activities that they were doing before, just kind of off to the side. So this would be its own little center for a kid who wanted to kind of work by themselves independently over maybe near question of the day or whatever. I had a very tiny classroom, so this actually would sit over by question of the day. They would look at it and things like that. They could then sort the colors, they could pull out an orange and maybe put it in a chart and then find the orange paintbrush and match it up. So there are lots of ways that you can use this single activity. In the description box is the link of where you can pick up your own copy. Again, I printed off 2 sets for what I showed you today. So the matching and things like that, you will want 2 copies of the same. So I just printed it twice. This is all made with 1 clip art set. That clip art set, you're getting the orange splat, or the paint splat, the paint brush, and the paint jar. Now I was very careful when I made these to make sure, and you can see here where they're printed, to make sure that the color itself, sorry about the chipped nail polish, but the colors of the orange and all of the other colors are the exact same hue. So you're going to get 11 different colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, brown, black, gray, white, and pink. And all three, the hue is exactly the same. So it's the same. Here's the pink paintbrush and jar. We'll go this way so you can kind of see them closer together. I can't line it up today. Okay, so those are exactly the same, and same with the paint slabs. So if you have any questions about the clip art or this free resource, don't forget to drop those in the comments below. I do read them and I do respond. If you're new here, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Every Thursday, we talk about a different teaching resource or clip art. Maybe down the road, we might talk about some different things. I don't exactly know yet. But it is definitely geared to you teachers, pay teachers, users more so than sellers. So if you shop on Teachers Pay Teachers, you will want to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so that you know that a new episode was posted, which hopefully will be every Thursday. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and I will see you next Thursday. If art is more your thing, don't forget to check out Wednesdays for In the Studio with Sarah Hickman Designs. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time.